What's going on, you guys? Slumpy here, back from the Salem Regionals. I ended up getting top 8 with Tearlament. Huge shout out to Logan Johnson and Tristan Bridges for helping me work on this deck. We played very identical lists. I think our lists were about 4 cards off. There's always like a couple cards difference between our lists. We've been working on Tearlament since the ban list came out. And I'm here to reveal what I decided to play. As well as stay tuned later on during the week. We'll be revealing Tristan Bridges' list, which is pretty much Logan's list as well. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. So I played for the monsters. I played 3 Fenrir, 3 Tier Cash. I've seen a lot of this play too. I don't know why this card's broken. This card's Hovinus Edge Cheering on either player's turn. Like, it's just so insane. I decided to play 3 Fenrir because I wanted to maximize on consistency because I'm playing 42 for the regionals. For Tearlaments, the 1-ofs because they got Dragon Ruler hit. I decided to play 3 Rhinoheart. The reason why we're playing 3 Rhinoheart is because in the extra deck we're playing Bahamut Shark. This is also just like maximizes consistency. You actually want to mill this so that you can switch it from the graveyard, so you get more access to like Redo and Bahamut, as well as some other cool plays. We all decided to play 2 King of the Swamp. This was a mistake. This should have been 3. I don't know why we played 2. This card is the best mill to hit, so like this is a mistake. This should have been 3, but we played 2 for the regionals, as well as the 1 polymerization with the King of the Swamp. For the Shizus, obviously they're all at 1, so we play all of them. Originally we were deciding to side the Medora and just to keep it down on cards. I decided to main deck the Medora because it just came up so much to be able to have shufflers, especially like when you need to like shuffle back your field spells for like certain plays. And then we decided to play 3 Radiant. At the event, a lot of people were only on making 1 Rise Heart. So I feel like for the regionals, this was definitely correct. It's also a dark target to make Mud Dragon, so this is better than Gamma Cell in this deck. It also comes up to where if you do draw 2, you can Kaiju on their field, Kaiju on your field, get rid of theirs, and you have a 2800 beat stick. And then 28 plus 23, which is a Tier Cash, and Kaleido Heart is 8100 per game. For the field spells, 2 Planet, Perlarino, 2 Pressured Planet, then the 1 set rotation. This was perfect for me. I actually don't like maximizing on these due to you have so many different ways, which are these. You have the Rainbow Bridge and Tribute Karma. You have so many ways to be able to get to your field spells, and I felt like playing 2 and 2 is perfect. 1, because you want to just take out as many field spells from your deck as possible, and then you're able to maximize your mills. So 2 and 2 is perfect. I didn't miss the 3rd Wraithsoth. The Tribute Karma, Rainbow Bridge are broken. This card always searches like your always important cards. When you push bigger goods, you can search like Heartbeat as well. So that comes up with this card a lot. And like these are almost always like searching Planet. Rainbow Bridge can search your Wraithsoth, but Tribute Karma cannot search your Wraithsoth. The set rotation was broken for me. It was able to out like Fountains, and a bunch of other like field spell like cards. For the Foolishes, I played 2 Goods and 1 Foolish Burial. I wanted to play 3, but I felt like I had enough consistency with the 3rd Fenrir that this was fine. I did miss the 3rd one a little bit. I would play 3 in the future. For the tier spells, 3 Scream. I decided to play 3 Scream. I believe Tristan and Logan were citing it. I wanted to maximize my mills on top of being able to get to mills, so I decided to play 3 of this. I played the 1 Grief. This card was insane for me. There's a couple times where I got debarriered and I was able to use Grief to special summon Rhino Hard to be able to make Bahamut. This card is just pretty much eats for the deck, and it just worked wonderfully for me. The Graveyard effect lets you add a banished trap, so sometimes you're able to Tier Cash banish a trap and then add it back with this. And then the 1 Heartbeat, decided to main deck it over side decking it. This card is insane. I love main decking it. Came up a lot where you're able to send this to add back one of your traps, like if you mill Meta Noise, so that you can end on Meta Noise, Crime, and Soliac turn 1. And then for the other trap cards, 1 Meta Noise, 2 Solic, and 1 Crime. Decided to main deck these because I wanted to play 42 and test it out, and it worked wonderfully. There's a lot of people that are main decking like Dark Ruler and Evenly Matched, and this is our only out to Dark Ruler because we end on like Toad and like Grapha, and we can't negate Dark Ruler, so like this is the best card to negate that. So 42 in the main deck. For the extra deck, we played 2 Kaleido Heart. 2 Kaleido Heart was broken. I made this a lot, especially because we only played 2 King of the Swamp. So like making the second one comes up in a lot of grind games, especially when you get like Kaiju or Spirit Moded, because you can't fusion summon with the Kaleido Heart. So that comes up a lot. And that's where like the shufflers also come up to where you have to shuffle this back to be able to keep going. The 1 Rakalos, 1 Grapha, 1 Predaplant, 1 Mud Dragon, and the Guardian Chimera. Guardian Chimera is for polymerization. This comes up a lot. Every time you have King of the Swamp, you're going second, you're able to draw cards, pop cards. And then when you have Poly Engrave, this is also untargetable, so it's really good. The second Mud Dragon came up a little bit, but again, the shufflers really help out when you don't have a way to keep like cycling all these, right? Because in theory, you should be using this one to shuffle back like these, or just hard making this, and then shuffle this back for this, to keep going into like this, and you keep like doing a bunch of other stuff. But there is times where like you're using Draco Sapelli to shuffle back this, because you really need it that turn to be able to keep fusion summoning, to be able to try and push for game or whatever, and sometimes they have the out. So like the shufflers come up to like put this back as well after that. For the Xyz, 1 Zeus, 1 Dracosac, 1 Redoer, and then the Bahamut and Toad. A lot of us aren't playing this package, and I still think this is probably the best package in this deck. There's so many different ways to play around Dark Ruler and Kaijus. Like this, adding back Tier Cash is insane, because then if you have Meta Noise against like Kashtira, and you get to send it to the graveyard and add back, it's just so much follow-up. So even if you get Dark Ruler, you can like use this for cost on resolution of Dark Ruler to be able to add Tier Cash and then special summon it, and then Meta Noise or field if you need to. This card can also be shuffled back for Kaleido Heart because it's an aqua. So if you do keep the Bahamut Shark on field, you're able to detach again next turn as a follow-up to special summon back the Toad. And then for the Link monsters, 1 Sprint, 1 Cheerbeanie, and definitely the MVP is Barricade Blocker. Barricade Blocker, the reason why it's so good is because you can pitch a Guido, you can pitch Kel back, and it allows you to pitch like Rainbow Bridge and Tribute Karma when you hard draw them. So like this card's so good. And that's the reason why I also just didn't play the Shaddoll's, is because hard drawing the Tribute Karma or hard drawing the Rainbow Bridge is fine because you're able to Barricade Blocker and then you go like +1 or +2 off of it. On top of being able to add like Scream during the end phase, or you can add the field spell, is really good. And then your face-up continuous spells can't be destroyed. So like you play against like Sword Soul, you summon this, you activate the effect, like pitch bridge, you bridge for field spell. You go field spell, if they go blackout, the Barricade Blocker gets destroyed, but the field spell stays, which happened to Logan actually. And then for the side deck, I sided the Dweller. This was not only for the mirror match, I didn't really expect to play the mirror match, but this is mostly against like Dark Worlds. Just because that deck is so explosive, they have so many different extenders. And this just outright beats Dark Ruler against like decks like that. This actually came up for me against Drytron in the last round, because I was able to just slam this on board, shut them out for the whole turn, and the next turn I was able to kill them. 1 Scatter Shot, sometimes you only do 7,500 and you need the 500 burn. Like I said, with the Kaijus, there's a lot of times where you can you're like 500 short and you really need to like kill them. So and then the 3 Magnemutes and 1 Jewish Worm. This package was so broken for me. This is against Despia. This is against Despia Branded. This is against the Mirror Match. This is against Dark Worlds, Drytron, Math Mech. Like so many different rogue decks that you want this against. And it just being an extender is perfect because there's times where even when you go first, you want to side out the Kaijus, and this is a replacement Dark, so you can make Mud Dragon. So this package was absolutely perfect. And then the 1 Pankratops, This is the God card. This is probably one of the best cards going second. I don't see a lot of us playing it. Also, this card's a level 7. I actually ended up overlaying this and my tier cash to make Draco stack to be able to do a fusion summon. So that's also pretty cool. And then the Gamma package. Gamma's insane. This helps you stop D-Shifter if they let you play. If they like let you mill, you usually get enough pluses to be able to get like access to meta noise against like Kashtira. So they have to shotgun the D-Shifter. If not, they just get blown out by like meta noise. So this card's definitely insane. It helps against rogue matchups too. Also, you can make sprint if you do it on your turn, which is insane. And then Dark Rulers and Call By. This is another out to D-Shifter. On top of this card just being insane against hand trap decks, which a lot of people were playing. And then Dark Ruler was actually the nuts. There's so many times where you play against like Kashtira and they end on just like a little bit, like 2 negates or like soft board, and this helps out that board. Yes, they can lance, but if they have the lance, I mean, you're kind of already losing anyways. You're in a losing position, and that's where the Kaiju shine as well as Gamma. Gamma's insane against Kashtira as well. So you have a lot of cards inside against Kashtira because I think that's one of your hardest matchups. But I feel like if you go first or if you're able to clear cash in your opponent's turn, you do have a chance. But yeah, that's the deck profile. Thank you guys for watching. Again, shout outs to Logan Johnson and Tristan Bridges. Shout out to the whole Cluxy Town chat. You know who you are. And shout out to all the homies back in Washington. Other than that, this is something out. We'll catch you guys later.
Good stuff on the top again.
Thank you.